Yo, what's going on everybody? Hawaiian Air 2121 here. Today we have a massive 8-plane unboxing for the month of April. And as we can see, this month is definitely Southwest heavy. That's going to be for my future new Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport updates. And I'm really excited to announce that towards the end of this video. Without further ado, let's begin today's massive unboxing for the month of April. And starting us off with the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Nevada 1 special livery. I picked this model up because a lot of my 700s in these state liveries are sadly being repainted towards the 800s, and that's costing my wallet a lot of money because the 700s are no longer used anymore for the state liveries. But anyway, we have the Nevada 1 special livery, the Southwest Airlines aircraft. Typical GeminiJets box. The Southwest Airlines aircraft boxes are white and you don't have the flap on them. But let's check out this model. It looks pretty good. I'm hoping it's not a Flappy Bird and the wing flap isn't horrible, because a lot of the 800s lately have been really bad in the Flappy Bird, the wing flex. Let's check out this model. It looks pretty good. And let's take a look at it. So far it looks pretty good and there isn't too much of a wing flex. Ooh, this is really detailed, this model aircraft. Over here is the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Nevada 1 Battleborn State livery. And as we can see, the model itself is in very nice shape. We have the Nevada 1 state flag right over here, Nevada Battleborn, which continues onto this side of the aircraft and goes down towards the engines. And as we can see, overall this is a very nice, sexy model airplane. If I turn the aircraft around, we could just take a look at it. One thing to note is that the wing flex isn't horrible on this model aircraft. I thought it'd be a little bit higher, like over here and over there, but they seem to fix it, which is nice to see. Another note that I like to see is the Southwest tail. It's very detailed. And then we have the American flag, as Southwest is an American carrier. More things to note is that the Wi-Fi dome has a little bit of lines on it, so it might be a little bit more of a detailed Wi-Fi dome. We also have some antennas right over here and right over here. Unfortunately, no belly antennas, as GeminiJets, I think, removed all the belly antennas from their modes on 400 scale. Other things to note is that the split Scimitars do look pretty good. We have the Nevada 1 title right over here, heart emblem near the L1 boarding door, and then again the Nevada state flag right over here. Overall, I like the model aircraft a lot. The only complaints I have, the wheels were pretty good, or it's the horizontal stabilizers. Unfortunately, they're plastic, which is really bad to see. I was hoping a little bit for metal. And the wheels might, I don't know if they're supposed to be blue, because the belly of the plane is blue, so I'm not sure if this is supposed to be blue or not. So if you do know about that, let me know in the comments. Overall, this is a very nice version of this model aircraft. I would recommend it. I think it's a nice model airplane. Coloring looks perfect on the model aircraft. Not too bad of a problem here for GeminiJets. Overall, I would recommend this model aircraft. And the next 3 models were probably one of the most anticipated releases by NG models. The Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 Heart livery, just the regular Heart livery, no special livery on it. These models were probably, again, one of the most highly demanded models. GeminiJets has only released one of these ever. I think that was like back in 2015, so these models were really necessities for everyone's collection, especially me. I need it! So we're going to take a look at all these model aircraft. Again, I really needed these model aircrafts for my collection. Unfortunately, the coloring has been shown to be a little bit off on these models, which is really sad to see. But let's dive into these 3 models. And the first of the 3 Southwest Airlines aircraft, here we have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700, just in the Heart livery with the regular winglets. And as we can see, the coloring unfortunately has been a little bit off. People were correct about the coloring, sadly, and that's a really big shame about this model aircraft. However, I would still recommend you guys get it just because this is such a needed model for everyone's collection. Let's take a look at it. We have the Southwest Airlines billboard titles, L1 boarding door, and then the Heart livery. If we move along, we have the Southwest.com engines right over here and right over here. American flag, as Southwest is an American carrier. And one thing that I love about NG models are the rolling rubber tires. They roll perfectly. You won't have to worry about breaking the model if you accidentally move it, because the wheels roll perfectly. Another thing to note are these engines. These engines are insanely detailed with all these 737-700 to NG models. Over here and over here, they say Southwest.com. And if we move the aircraft along, we can just take a look at it. Unfortunately, the coloring is shown to be a little bit off, which is really a shame. It was, again, one of the hottest releases, I think, in the market in a while, just because so many people wanted these. But this, the heart, so we have the heart livery on the winglets right over here and right over here. Again, registration, American flag, Southwest billboard titles. And overall, I would say still to get this model, if you don't want all three, you could just pick one. We're going to take a look at the next model next for this set. But overall, I would say just get one of these models. And over here is the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 by NG models. However, this one has the canyon blue winglet right over here. And unfortunately, this guy, you can see that the coloring is really not the greatest because it doesn't match up. You sure you have the canyon blue right over here, but this is way too dark. This should be a lot lighter. However, I would say slow to get one of these just because they are such demanded models for the model aircraft community. Same details as the other ones. Southwest billboard titles, L1 boarding door, heart emblem right over here. Metal horizontal stabilizers, which is nice to see. Again, rolling rubber tires are nice. I think Southwest NG made the Max 737 Max 7, they did. And that one, the coloring is way off, but this one seems to be a little bit better. Another thing to note that I like are these emergency exit arrows right over here on the wing flaps. They are insanely detailed. Metal horizontal stabilizers, which is again nice to see if I turn the aircraft around. We could just take a look at it. And again, this one is different because this is a really cool aspect. It would have been really cool if they perfected the color, if you will. But this one has the canyon blue winglet right over here, which is really nice to see. It's a really unique detail by NG. I'm sure Southwest painted these. One of them they forgot to paint the winglet, but here's the Southwest canyon blue right over here matching with the new heart livery. We're going to take a look at the split Scimitars one next, but I would say out of all three of these, this one I would probably pass upon just because of the fact that the coloring is messed up. And while it does look cool with the canyon blue winglet, it doesn't really add up because the coloring is messed up. And to everyone's surprise, we have yet again another Southwest Airlines aircraft, and yet again the coloring is still messed up on this aircraft.
So uncivilized.
NG probably would have done amazing on these model airplanes if they perfected the color. However, the coloring is wrong on the aircraft. It should be a lot lighter than what it is. It should be more of a blue instead of this like dark blue, if you will. Overall, I would still say get one of these just because they are really necessities for everyone's collection. And I'm not sure when GeminiJets will release the next one, if they will at all. We have these Southwest Airlines billboard titles right over here. And the only other variant of this was the Panda Models version. I have one of those, and the Southwest titles were a little bit over here, a little bit higher. However, the color was better than this one. So I would say, if you're asking me, I would just get one of these, maybe this one, or the one just with the regular ringlets. It is a little bit disappointing that they messed these up. However, you know, it is what it is. You can't really control it. I'm hoping NG kind of makes a newer one, so maybe I could sell these, but I'm not sure if anyone will want them because the coloring is a little bit off. And the last of the Southwest Airlines aircraft, for the viewer's sake, is the 737 MAX 7. If they perfected the color on this, spoiler alert, they messed it up, they would have probably sold these out instantly. However, a lot of people realized that on the NG model site when they released this, the coloring is really messed up. And I think they messed this one up worse than the 737-700s. However, this is the only type variant of this. No one else has made a 737 MAX 7. So we're going to take a look at this aircraft next. And here it is. Here's the 737 MAX 7 by NG Models. A couple things to note from this aircraft, again, with the coloring is a little bit off. We have one thing that I actually noticed that NG Models did was, I don't know if you could tell on the camera, there is a white Wi-Fi dome line right over here from the MAX. That's accurate for the MAX fleet, and that's really nice to see. This is a little bit different than the 737-700 I showed earlier because this is the MAX. Hopefully the doors don't come out of this aircraft while I review it. We have the MAX winglets right over here. And if I bring the aircraft along closer to the camera, we can see that yet again the coloring is a little bit off again. What is NG Models doing here?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Here. It's really a shame to see that they messed up the color again. I needed these aircraft for Houston Hobby and Phoenix Sky Harbor, so that's why I got all 4 of them. But again, I would say on the MAX 7, I would say pass on it, just because the coloring isn't too great on the model aircraft. I would say get one of the 700s to scam the MAX 7. However, if you want all 4 like myself, I'd say go for it, but I would say be very careful because the coloring is a little bit off. Southwest engine, southwest.com, and it seems to be that the Southwest titles over here seems to be a little bit higher than normal, which is something I'm noticing right now. L1 boarding door with the heart over here. American flag, as Southwest is an American carrier. And overall, this is the MAX 7, and again, I would say this one, I would say stay careful of just because the coloring doesn't seem to be the greatest. However, if you want it, go for it because this is the only 737 MAX 7 out there by NG Models, is the only one to do it. Again, we can see the Wi-Fi dome coloring right over there, which is nice to see. Over here, some more highly desired models by GeminiJets. Moving on to a different carrier, we have American Airlines over here. And we have the American Airlines PSA Heritage Special Livery and the Piedmont Special Livery on the Airbus A321. American has been painting these off the A319s and moving them to the A321. So we're going to take a look at these 2 model airplanes, see if they're worth it, and see if you should wait on these or should buy them. So let's take a look. Over here is the American Airlines Airbus A321 and the PSA Heritage Special Livery. This is a wonderful, wonderful model by GeminiJets. Ooh, I'm in love with it. So far we have the American Airlines titles right over here, the One World emblem right over here, L1 boarding door, and overall this is a very, very colorful, very, very nice model airplane. I'm really in love with it. It's a wonderful version of the American Airlines Airbus A321 by GeminiJets. Wheels unfortunately don't roll at all, which is not too much of a surprise for Gemini's A321s. And overall, if we look at the aircraft along, it's just a really, really nice aircraft. The engines, maybe they fixed them, they're not really terribly oversized. PSA Heritage Special tail over here, where you have the orange and then the red and the white. Wi-Fi dome, nice to see that. And the stabilizers, I think the stabilizers are metal on this aircraft, which is really nice to see. The only thing I have to say about this aircraft are the wheels look a little bit flimsy, so be careful with the wheels, as one of the tires went off when I opened my aircraft, but I fixed it. Overall, this is a wonderful version of this aircraft. I really, really recommend it. It's an insanely colorful and detailed model aircraft. We even have the happy face over here for the PSA, I think it is, the smile over there. The cockpit, the nose is extremely detailed on this model aircraft as well. If I could zoom in on it, we could see just how detailed it is. I mean, look at that. That's insanely detailed. Gemini's done a wonderful job with this model aircraft. They really did a nice job with it, and I'm really excited about it. So let's go on with the next Heritage A321. Over here is the American Airlines Airbus A321 in the Piedmont Special Livery. And as we can see, this is again a very, very nice model airplane. Really, Gemini's done a wonderful job. I love the coloring on it. Some cool things to note: instead of the Piedmont A319 that's seen the old A319, this is the Piedmont A321. We also have the American titles right over here. Wi-Fi dome, I like to see that. The wheels, again, same with the other A321, they don't really roll at all. However, the engines are not oversized on this. It seems like they definitely fixed that. That's nice to see. Some extra detail, we have the One World emblem right over here, L1 boarding door again. And then we have some Piedmont Heritage, I can't really see that, but it's like Piedmont Heritage, I think, plane right over here. Overall, this is a very, very nice model airplane. Let's take a look at it all around. And it's I really actually am surprised I like this aircraft so much on the A321. I was a little afraid that when they repainted these on the A321s I wouldn't like them. However, I think it's really popping and looks really, really solid. They did a wonderful job with this GeminiJets. Some things to note are we have the wing flaps right over here and right over here. I think NG probably could add a little bit more detail on here. So if NG does make this model, you'll probably see a little bit more detail over there. But I have to say, this one combined with the PSA Heritage A321, these are looking phenomenal next to each other. They look really, really sexy, and I'm really pleased with these two model aircraft. Again, in the back we have the PSA Heritage, and then we have the Piedmont. Overall, would highly recommend you guys pick them up. I will be using these for Phoenix Sky Harbor because I really need more American A321s in my fleet. So the coloring's perfect, looks really nice. I would recommend you guys pick these guys up. And the final aircraft, today's massive unboxing, probably is my favorite aircraft just because it's a retro. The Frontier Airlines Airbus A318 in the Charlie the Cougar tail. Let's take a look at this box. This box is phenomenally detailed by NG Models. Really, this is a wonderful, wonderful box art. And I do have the other two on order that you could kind of compare and put them all next to each other. I think they're the Elk and the Griswold. You can kind of see them. But overall, this is a very, very nice box. I really was waiting for this model for ages. Someone to make a Frontier Airlines Airbus A318, the 1:400 scale. I don't think anyone's ever done it besides NG Models. So let's take a look at the model itself. This model is insanely detailed. I would highly, highly recommend anyone picks this up. It's a really lovely model, this Frontier Airlines Airbus A318. Let's take a look at it. You got the tail over here, insanely detailed tail, NG Models. The coloring is perfect, unlike the Southwest. This is perfect coloring, perfect job by NG Models. Frontier Airlines billboard titles, one of the first airlines kind of to do that. A whole different animal right over here, Wi-Fi dome, many antennas. Is this nice. Rolling rubber tires, they're kind of roll a little bit. I would see a little more kind of more smoothness from NG Models, but you know, maybe it's just this model. Over here is just another look at the A318, and as we take a look at it, it's just a phenomenally detailed aircraft. This is my second Airbus A318 from NG Models. I do have the British Airways Airbus A318. I do plan on eventually using down the road, but let's just take a gorgeous look at this aircraft again. It's insanely detailed. The wing flaps, everything is perfect. I bought this guy from DG Pilot along with the MAX 7. All the other aircraft I bought from the Newark Airline Show, so I'm really excited to use these aircraft in my latest videos. They look really, really solid. Frontier Airlines colors are perfect again. Overall, I would highly, highly recommend this aircraft. It's insane how much detail on this little A318. And this is a highly desired model for me. I really wanted a Frontier Airbus A318 in 1:400 scale. So over here is just a recap of all of the planes that I unboxed today. Again, a really Southwest heavy month. I do plan on using these for Phoenix Sky Harbor as well as Houston Hobby. So if you haven't checked out Houston Hobby, please do check that out, as I might expand that airport. Overall, these models look fantastic. I'm really excited about them. Again, we have the Frontier Airlines Airbus A318, the two American PSA A321s. Expect to see those in Phoenix and JFK, as well as LAX. Southwest Airlines, Boeing 737 MAX 7. Then we have the Nevada 1 Southwest Airlines, Boeing 737-800, and the trio of the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700s. Again, very much a Southwest heavy month, but these are the planes that I picked up in the month of April. And news for the channel is that Phoenix Sky Harbor, the all-new Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport update, is going to be coming out in a week or two. Followed by that, it's going to be LAX. I finally have the LAX project finished, so I'm really excited to showcase that. And yeah, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. It greatly helps support me, and I really appreciate all the continued support. This is Hawaiian Air 2121 signing off. Have a good one.